Stream close up! The early 1990s film Wayne's World introduced to a couple of rock icons or rock punks, depending on your outlook. Wayne and Garth take it upon themselves to live their life in whatever fashion they see fit at the time, and their real job is running a TV show out of their basement. Wayne and Garth were so happy because they never learned to grow up, or not to scream close if you want. But the theme of never growing up, I think, is reflected in today's quotation by Will Cuppy, which sounds a lot like Guppy, a fish that never grew up. All modern men are descended from a worm-like creature, but it shows more on some people. Will Cuppy, I think, is saying that some people resemble their ancestors way more than they should. Some people have never evolved. Some people have never become fully human. Some people are jackasses. The stance of agreement is obviously warranted because I just swore. This agreement comes on two levels. Nice. This agreement comes on two levels. The first is that some people just they stay childlike, and the second is that we as a human being are hypocrites, and so look down on them sometimes for no reason. But first, Freud's image of the child, the inner child, stays with you throughout your entire lives. And this image of most people never having grown up is clear, both through his idea of the return of the oppressed and its application to the late President Bill Clinton, who's not really dead. First, the return of the repressed, Freud states, is basically something that you've pressed way down inside you, like your inner child, that comes back in a distorted form. He says that these repressed things represent our most primitive urges, just like people who have evolved from worms. And indeed, sometimes these childlike urges do come back in a distorted form, as Bill Clinton demonstrated during his presidency. Now, presidents in their second term often get a little bit get a little wild, start throwing around their power, but Bill Clinton took this to amazing excess. Not only with the obvious thing that I know you're all thinking of because you're sick, but despite being a fervently anti-tobacco president, he was taken pictures of by the New York Times smoking a fat stogie in the Oval Office with his cuffs rolled up. He did things like this all the time, and we can see that through an obvious oral fixation that Clinton must have had, that often, not only does our inner child stay with us, but sometimes it comes back to haunt us. So looking at the return of the repressed and its application to Bill Clinton, we see the truth in Guppy's words, that oftentimes people haven't grown up, their inner child sticks with them. Secondly, we have to look at the idea that, indeed, are these people jackasses or are we the jackass? The answer is yes. We can see this more clearly, both through looking at the dual effect doctrine of J.T. Morgan and its application to literally anything that you want. The dual effect doctrine goes thus. We look down upon direct evil, but we think it's perfectly fine for indirect evil. For instance, I think it's bad to can impromptus. However, to put it more into context, let me give you an example. I said apply it to anything you want. I want war. America looks down on having their citizens killed. We say terrorism is bad. If you wreck something into something that we have and people die, that's a direct violation of our right to be left alone. This is direct evil and we'll look down upon it. However, we go and do the same thing to them. Now what's that say? Not only have the people who we claim have not grown up, but then we ourselves fall victim to that because the human being is a hypocrite. Again, we see the truth in Guppy's words. Through the dual effect doctrine and the fact that we always hit back, we can see that it's clear some people never grow up. We never lose those urges, and we never, almost never, give other humans the credit that they're due, or the credit that they're not due, or the credit that we're not due. Oh yeah. So returning to today's quotation, all modern men, especially wearing pink ties, are descendants of a worm-like creature, but it shows more on some people. What Will Cuppy was trying to say is that, again, some people are less grown up than others. We've demonstrated this not only by looking at the inner child that never goes away, but the fact that we ourselves are not grown up. And the fact that we still look down on other people for it demonstrates our hypocrisy. Wayne and Garth, not the best business partners, Not the best thing to watch on a Friday night. But you know what? They got by in their lives because they did what they wanted. Should you take it to an extreme? Probably not. Just do it just enough so that someone will pay you to do your own TV show.